You're paying for how the car gets done, how well the paint correction is done, how well the application is done so that you can't see any of the seams, how well your car is treated. A lot of factors determine the cost. So when you compare costs from a lot of places, you need to know why you're paying and what you're paying for. Welcome back to Crankit Automotive, and today we have with us the Mahindra XEV 90, and this is coming for a full body PPF. Now, this is the forest green color. It is a little dark color, a little difficult to maintain if you're not regular with your maintenance. So the client had a very specific requirement. I don't have time to maintain the car and I need something that will protect the car even though I don't have time. Now, PPF is meant to protect your car from a lot of things, from stone chips, from minor scratches. It can't protect from accidental scratches, but from minor scratches, from the scratches that come because of bad maintenance techniques, like bad washing techniques, which happen if your car cleaner is taking the same cloth from the bottom side of the car and bringing the same dirt onto the top side of the car. That is something that could cause those friction scratches across the paint and in time become those nasty swirl marks and ruin the finish of the paint. This is a little dark color and you should be able to maintain this well if you are very regular with it. If you can't, then PPF is the way to go with it. Now, this will protect the car. This particular sheet that we're going to install is going to have an 8-year warranty. So for 8 years at least, this car is definitely protected and it'll save the car from a lot of damage that it could encounter with daily use. Now, the first step that we start off with is the decontamination wash, which is basically meant to completely clean off the car. Even though it comes from the showroom, the car is pretty dirty. So we do that so that when the application of the PPF starts, there is no hidden dirt that's coming under the PPF, because that wastes a lot of time and could waste a lot of money. If it comes under the sheet, you've got to pretty much change the entire sheet all over again. So that is a very important process to clean the car completely well and then start off. So let's start with the first process, which is the decontamination wash. So now after the decontamination wash, we are going to be working on the paint to remove all the fine swirl marks which are on the car. Now the client said even though he had gone for the delivery, there were fine swirl marks on the car, which is something he didn't really like. So we're going to be tackling that in this stage, which is the paint correction stage. Paint correction basically means we work on removing all the finer scratches which are in the paint. Even though this is a new car, we're still going to be working on all the finer scratches and removing them, because once the PPF is installed onto the paint, we will not be able to access the paint anymore. So this becomes very important to remove the fine scratches and to polish up the paint, because once the PPF is applied onto the car, it's going to be sealed. So we have to do two things in paint correction. One is to remove the finer scratches from the paint, and second is to polish it up so that the paint looks perfect and has that impeccable shine before we install the PPF. The PPF will just marginally add shine to it, but the main shine will come in this stage, which is the paint correction. So let's get started with that. So right now, the next stage that you can see is the paint protection film application, like we're doing it. And we're doing it inside an enclosed area, like you can see. We're not doing it in the open. ये वाला process is very important. अगर आप अपनी गाड़ी करा रहे हो, it is very important कि ये dedicated एक booth में हो, ताकि कोई contamination PPF के नीचे ना आए जो आप application कर रहे हो. वो वाला area clean होना चाहिए, ताकि कोई dust particles या कोई foreign particles PPF के नीचे नहीं आए. This is very, very important. And right before we start doing the car, the entire area is clean. फिर गाड़ी अंदर आती है एंड उसके बाद देन वी स्टार्ट दी PPF एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस। तो हमेशा याद रखना जहाँ पे भी करा रहे हो, ऑलवेज इंश्योर दैट द एरिया इज एनक्लोज्ड, ताकि जब PPF हो it always gets applied properly. अब अगर आपने हमारे बाकी वीडियोस देखे होंगे, we in some cars remove the tail lights handles, but luckily with the Mahindra XEV 700 and with the 9e it's very easy because इनके हैंडल्स ऑलरेडी अंदर है, तो हमें कुछ खोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती इन गाड़ियों में. बट इन सम कार्स वी डू ओपन इट ताकि वी कैन ईजिली टक इन द PPF अंडर द एंटायर लाइट और एनी अदर एरियाज, ताकि बाद में वो चीज़ खुले ना. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी ऑलवेज इंश्योर कि टक इन जो है आपका हमेशा प्रॉपर्ली हो, वरना ये चीज़ खुल सकती है विद वॉशिंग. कभी प्रेशर वॉश कर दिया, पानी घुस गया अंदर. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर जब टक इन होता है इट शुड ऑलवेज बी इनसाइड, ताकि PPF की जो लॉन्ग लास्टिंग लाइफ है इट इज इंश्योर्ड फर्स्ट with the product that you put, and secondly कि application कैसा हो. So always ensure application is a very important part to make sure that your PPF lasts. So anyways, let's move to the next stage, which is the PPF application stage. So our car is finally ready and the PPF has been installed. Now if you come in closer, you will not be able to see the seams of the PPF anywhere. This is the bonnet line, by the way, and you cannot see the cut because we tuck it in completely, so there's absolutely no line here. It's smooth completely. Now I'll show you the other panels as well. If you come onto the side and you see the fender, it is completely tucked in. There is absolutely no line that you can see. We don't cut it on this particular line. We always tuck it inside. Now that is to ensure the long life of the PPF and it doesn't get damaged in daily washing or in daily use. Anywhere you see. Let me show you the door as well. Now here we remove the weather strips and then we tuck it right under it. There is not much that we play around, not much that we open. We just take out the weather strips and we tuck it right underneath it and put it back. So you have no lines here as well. So even on the handles, by the way, you will not be able to make out that there is any cut. That is the finishing with which you work. So when people wonder why they're paying so much, you're paying so much for the workmanship. Yes, you're paying for the sheet as well, but you're also paying for the workmanship, how the sheet is cut, how it's applied and how well it's hidden. That becomes a very important part in the costing that you pay. So you're paying for how the car gets done, how well the paint correction is done, how well the application is done so that you can't see any of the seams, how well your car is treated. A lot of factors determine the cost. So when you compare costs from a lot of places, you need to know why you're paying and what you're paying for. So anyways, I hope you liked watching this video. We love working on this car. This car looks brilliant right now, and enjoy some of the aftershots of this.